Yeah.
When you're looking at secondary school, any year that we could have just as many students in that year as the whole of primary school.
It could be. It could be.
Although there would be 350 students in 1 year that would be 7, yet there's less than 350 in the whole school at primary school.
Could be. Could be. That'll be your question. My first question for you after your break, which is about now, is going to be, how do you explain it? Or can you try and explain it? What is going on that might make sense of that? How long do we break for, Lena? Half an hour break. We'll be back in here in half an hour. Hint. I'm going to talk about hinting. I could say it's really good to see that most people got back on time. That's a hint. I could say it's disappointing that no one was really back exactly on time. That's a man's hint, always negative. Women are more positive. I could say a few people were back on time. It's a pity they didn't bring others with them. That's communal responsibility hint, and so on and so forth. So these are the sorts of skills we're going to talk about when we talk about how to make people responsible. But it starts with those rights. Now, just a matter of interest, what do you reckon? How do you explain this? What is it? What's happening? You might say, well, it's raging hormones. You know, it kicks in secondary school, hasn't quite hit by grade 6. And then I'd say, yeah, but there were differences between the secondary schools, so that's not going to be so. Yeah.
When you get into secondary, it's kind of like you're part of the school rather than you've got a section or that you own, that you're responsible for, that you contribute. So you kind of just have to get into the goings on. There's so much going on, and just sort of plot on. If you don't get lost under the radar.
Actually, it's an interesting word you use, contribute. Because in theory that would be a good word to think about, I think, because to connect with something, you've got to give to it. That's why they say mothers love their children more than fathers generally, because they give more. And in some languages, even the root definition of the word to love is to give. So the concept is that when you give to something, you connect. So maybe primaries have more opportunity to give. It's an interesting concept. I don't know, but it certainly is something different in cultures, yeah.
A sense of more independence at secondary school rather than interdependence, certainly in terms of curriculum and the competitive nature of VCE and so on. Who wants to share an assignment with someone if they're going to finish part of the SAC grade, if it's all got to be ranked and all of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And that notion of interconnectedness, because of school size, is an issue as well, I think. So there's that sense of primary school, or in the earlier years, quite apart from the hormones, much more interdependence, even with gender and cultural issues, then as you move it through into secondary school with the independence of culture, gender, and the academic stuff.
It certainly fits my experience in secondaries as well, yeah.
Would that communal responsibility have been called helping behaviour in the past? And so helping behaviour is a learnt thing. And if we can, in our secondary schools and even in our primaries, have opportunities for children to learn about helping the community, then it's benefit for everyone, benefit for the school community, benefit for the children to be able to see that they are contributing.
Yeah, you could say it's part of the overt curriculum in primary and it's not part of the overt curriculum in most secondaries. So if it's being taught, they'll probably learn it. It's like time on task, you know. If we're doing it, then they're going to...
But I notice in some secondary schools where the children seem to me to be really connected, they have a helping or a communal responsibility that is allocated to them, and the children do it, and they like it, and they feel like they're contributing outside of the class.
So what you're saying, when it is an overt part of the curriculum, it actually does work. Yeah, it makes sense.
And kids want to go there, and parents want to send their kids there. And so they're some of our most successful secondary colleges. Would be my observation.
Okay. Well, that's what we'll find out in this sort of experiment, won't we? If we can get some secondary schools to overtly own this stuff, like put up signs in every room saying people have a right to learn as much as they can, and I'll show you these signs, they're in schools now. People have a right to feel safe and comfortable. remember your behaviour affects everybody, don't forget to encourage kids to do the right thing, all this sort of stuff. And not only just put the signs up, but talk to them, those signs, and talk like them. It might make a difference. That's partly why I'm involved, yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, you were first up, sorry.
By nature, I think people are hardwired to be a selfish animal, and I think by the time you get to secondary school, look after yourself now, so the self-preservation, you're going to come first to get ahead, therefore you become second. It's because of like a hardwired selfish. You're not naturally inclined to share and be part of the
I'm not sure. See, there'll be theorists who say the opposite, that we're social beings, and they even try to use your need to connect to other people to get you to curb your worst instincts, Like Glasser would be sort of very much saying, no, we don't want to live apart from people, and we want to be liked by people, and we'll curb things that, I look and I think, that's a nice pen, I think I'll steal that. And then I think, no, maybe I won't, because people won't approve of it. And so maybe, I'm not sure, it's an interesting thing, because... Yeah, that's right. Oh, no, I certainly we encourage it at some level in secondary schools, there's no question, that independent, that competitive nature, hiding books in the library, all that sort of stuff. We tend to do this. Yeah, you're going to...
Just, if you took out a profile of like outdoor students, for example, where in secondary college that is intrinsic part of the curriculum is about independence. So if I look at my year 9s going outdoor and how they would rank on that, it'd be huge, because it'd be completely like a primary school classroom. And so I think in secondary schools, that falls apart a lot in the curriculum and with the teacher. It's behaviour that has to be modelled every day and talked about. There's a specific type of language that goes with that, talking about being a team, being a family, we work together, and that we're part of,
Yeah, and that would be part of that overtness of it all. And that's what I'm interested to see. When we make it really overt, if we take the risk and we make it really overt, will it actually change anything? Some people think no, some people think yes. So it would depend on the explanatory reasons as to why it's like it is, as to whether you see it changing if we do things differently. But according to that 45 to 55% of variance, that what you do in your classroom is going to carry half the variance, what we say should make a difference. So if I say, put your pen down, or I say, you're writing and they can't concentrate while you're doing that, and I don't even say anything beyond that, then that is a different thing to say, with different connotations, different messages, different implicit stuff, and it might make a difference. It's going to be an interesting thing to find out. But maybe the overriding culture is so powerful that it'll just steamroll it through. I don't know. Sorry, you're going to say something.